Yeah. Good morning, it's Wabi from the Politically Correct Show. I'm here to talk about the Tracy Morgan incident. So it happened like this: Tracy Morgan popping up to an event. I don't know what event it was exactly, but it was an event. I guess he was signing autographs and stuff. And then some homeless dude that he knew from like high school or whatever, he showed up asking for money. That dude apparently was bullying Tracy Morgan uh, in high school before he was famous. So he was just like, nah, I'm not gonna give you no money. Get away from me, boy. Type stuff like that. And now everybody was like, oh, how are you gonna be upset and mad about what happened back then? Why don't you just give him the money? You rich enough, you got it, and all that stuff. But I gotta say, I completely agree with Tracy Morgan and how he handled the situation. Matter of fact, he could have been more disrespectful because how you gonna bully me when I was however old, and then now as an adult, now that we all have our things together, you're gonna ask me for help because you don't got your things together? I mean, to me, that's like textbook fake. That's textbook fake. Like I've beefed with a lot of people in my life. I've had my own beefs or whatever. I can't really say that anyone's bullied me because in order for someone to bully you, even when you're a kid, you have to like actually feel like you're being bullied. Where me, I mean, I got picked on, I guess, but I always stood up for myself. So I don't think I've ever been like bullied. But not everybody's like me who can just like stand up for themselves no matter if they get the ass beat or not. So bullying, especially for kids, is a real thing. So I just don't condone bullying. I don't condone all of that disrespect. And you gotta watch whose toes you step on. You gotta watch how you treat other people because you never know if that's your boss or not. That could be your boss one day. That's why for me, with all the altercations I had when I was a kid, I'm so glad that it was the individual that I was beefing with. I wasn't beefing with the individual and his whole crew. I was beefing with that one guy because that one guy gave me the problem. A lot of people, when they're beefing with somebody, they like to uh, they like to beef with the whole group. Like everybody's on notice and stuff. But that's too much. You don't have to beef with everybody. Some people probably was like behind the scenes, yo, why'd you do that to Bull? Why would you treat him like that? Why'd you say that to him? So you never know who's doing what behind the scenes. So you always should keep your beefs at the individual. So I say that by saying uh, I didn't burn too many bridges. There's people out there that I'm cool with to this day because they saw I stood up for myself and they saw I wasn't doing too much. And I don't beef with them because they didn't have nothing to do with it. So it's like, I gained a lot of friends from doing that. So it's like, for me, I just don't understand the hate. I don't understand the how Tracy Morgan was wrong. Yeah, he's rich enough to do it, but he could have gave somebody who didn't disrespect him that money. There's a lot of homeless people around, to give money to. And I'm pretty sure he does charitable events. So we're just gonna forget all the charitable events that he's probably done behind the scenes because he didn't give one homeless person some money. I just don't think that's a correct agenda. I don't think that's right. And I hope that Tracy Morgan understands that he is 100% in the right, and he can do whatever he wants with his money. There's some rich people with money like him who don't do anything for nobody, and that's fine too. Do I agree with it? No. I wish rich people could do more, but he doesn't have to give out nothing. These rich people don't have to do nothing for nobody. It would be nice, and they should, but should and having to are two different things. If you look out for yourself, you look out for yourself. And with that, it wasn't even about looking out for yourself. It's just not looking out for somebody who treats you in a type way. And with this event happening, I'm pretty sure that homeless guy is thinking twice about how he's treating other people. So he kind of did him a favor, because now he's probably going to be a better person after this incident. So that's what I have here for today. I just thought it was a very interesting occurrence, so I decided to talk about it, even though I already made a video this week. I give y'all extra. And the next thing I'm gonna talk about is just this YouTube channel. I love this YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep making more videos, no matter who says what, no matter who tells me to stop, no matter who's following, who's not, no matter how much dislikes it's gonna get. I'm always gonna have this YouTube channel. It's always gonna be mine. So I just need everybody who likes the content to not even like the content, but to engage with it. Show some activity, start commenting, share it, debate it with your friends, talk about it. That's what this YouTube channel is all about, is to not only lift my voice, but to lift a whole bunch of others. Not for my agenda, not my voice for my agenda, but for my voice and my agenda, and for the voices of others and their agenda. I want opposing thoughts to be around and talk about it, debate it with your friends, just the conversation. That's what we need in this world today, is the conversation, and somebody to be fearless enough to say what they feel, but then also be humble enough to listen to others. I feel like that's missing, because everybody who is fearless, they want to be right. Everybody who's fearful, they don't want to step on nobody's toes. They don't want to say how they feel. So I just feel like that's the important part of my YouTube channel. That's what we're looking for, is to build up not only my career, but to build up the career of others. Should be a lot of collabs to start soon. There should be a better quality of the camera soon. I just want everybody who's watching this to feel something, and that's my goal, is to get y'all to feel something. It's Wabi, and God bless you, and God bless America.